Welcome back. Today we will begin with a 5-minute sit and meditation focusing on the breath, essentially a shamatha meditation. Then we will have a little conversation about something in yoga, and then we'll learn some yoga poses today. So that's our class for today. So go ahead and find your comfortable seat. Today I'm outside in my backyard. The weather's nice. I don't have any props today. It would be nice though if I did, but I'll be doing them without props, maybe if you are also doing them without props as well. So it'll be like we're doing it together, or at least with the same sort of equipment. But all right, we're gonna get started. Let's find a comfortable seat. Root through the sit bones, and then since I don't have a meditation cushion or bolster or blocks today, also cedar fever or just allergies in Texas, I don't know. So root the sit bones into the mat. And what I mean by that is move the blessings out of the way. That's the skin at the extra skin at the back of the booty. I want you to move it away so you can sit down through those sit bones and be rooted here. And then whenever you find your seat, notice if you're leaning forward, if you're leaning back, if you are super hunched over. Maybe you have a big sway in your back. It's perfect however you are. Just notice how you are, and then try to bring more balance and more ease into that seated posture. So for me today in my body with no props, nothing, I'm noticing a little bit of tightness in my lower back. So I need to make sure that I'm engaging my core in this seat and sitting back on my sits bones instead of sitting really high up on my sits bones and then arching my back. So once I find that more comfortable seat where I'm more supported like that, my lower back's a bit more protected. So I'd like to invite you to make any modifications. So maybe it's like tilting the pelvis, or maybe the ribs are really wide open and flared. Maybe you zip the ribs in. Maybe you notice the shoulders were really up near your ears. Maybe you're able to, okay, let me pull those shoulder blades down and back. You can also use like the ground next to you for support, something to reach towards. It's kind of nice to have your little, this is like my little kickstands. So find that comfortable seat. Hands can be on the knees, palms facing up or palms facing down, whichever feels most comfortable for you. Mine are grounded, somewhat tinted into the earth next to me for a bit more of a grounding sensation for me. I feel also supported. Bring the eyes to close if that's comfortable for you in your body or in your space today. And begin to notice the breath. Noticing the inhales and the exhales. Perhaps you notice the texture of the breath or the quality of the breath, temperature, sensation. Notice those things about your breath and don't change them, but notice them and breathe here. We're almost there, y'all. Just a few more steady inhales and exhales, just noticing, no judgment about qualities of your breath in this current moment. Your natural breath is the perfect pace. Breathe naturally for a few more full rounds here. In and out through the nose. You got this. Home stretch. And then just soften. Release the thought of your breath. Release the thought of the texture of your breath. Anything about your breath that you're thinking of, just let it all go. Just soften away and see how you feel now. And meet yourself with curiosity, not judgment. That's what we're looking for, is more curiosity towards ourselves, more compassion, less judgment, less judgment, less meanness, less harsh behavior. But anyway, yeah, so much love over here. Okay, I feel all like meditated out. I did have some of my yoga teacher friends over today, and we did a live call with my Buddhist teacher, Pema Chodron. So that was really inspirational, and we did a meditation together, and we had a little bit of time to talk about our experience and what we thought and just current life stuff. So I'm feeling really full of love today, and really just soft. So, but anyway, that's why I'm like, yes, meditation, I don't need anything. Like, I was like, I don't need the cushion, I don't need nothing today, because I'm already like all like, see. But anyway, so today for our topic of conversation coming out of that meditation, so we're just coming back to the shamatha meditation style of meditation every week and every class, because building consistency, building a habit, also building familiarity, confidence, trust, rapport, all with oneself. So while at sometimes it's like, oh, I want to do a different meditation, or just know that the reason we're doing the same meditation, the same style over and over and over again is because that's how you build confidence, build trust, build rapport with yourself, and also can gauge your progress, right? Like if we're doing a different meditation every week, a different style, a different lineage, things will get complicated, because what works, and that's the thing too, is this is very simple, right? So some of those more complicated or advanced meditations might be like, there's different things that work for different people, whereas just finding the breath is a like basis of all meditations. It's foundation for all lineages, all paths, all spiritual practices, all heritage. Finding the breath is the foundation. So coming back to that, just constantly practicing that is going to just give us that confidence and rapport with ourselves, as well as like finding what feels good, what feels right, and getting to know ourselves best. So thanks for going with me for that layer of the shamatha meditation. That one was a little bit different because we were noticing the texture, and we were noticing the quality, the characteristics, whereas before we were just labeling it. So this time it was more of like, what do you notice about your breath? Like, is it shallow? Is it cold? Is it warm? Is it nervous or slow? All good and solid answers. But so for our conversation today, we'll be talking about the use of mantras and mantras in yoga. And I just wanted to invite you to consider mantras in your yoga practice as like an anchor, something you could come back to, something that you could hold on to for hope, aspiration, a truth, or building something you could build confidence within yourself or that you want to improve on. So mantras are just a short little statement. I mean, you've probably seen things like this, like I am enough and I am strong, I am powerful. So the way that we use them in yoga, like when I see those little affirmations, they're also called affirmations. But in yoga, those affirmations are more of a mantra because it's more of something that we want to, again, come back to refocus the breath towards, to gauge where we're at and see if we're feeling different than we did before. So mantras in yoga are a great tool. Maybe you're trying a different practice of yoga. Maybe you've gone to a new studio. Maybe you're in a new space. You're in a new gym or park or community, whatever it might be. A mantra is a great tool to come back to yourself and take care of yourself while moving through your practice. So some mantras that I've used that have been very effective for me in my journey, and everybody has different ones, right? So one for me for a long time was I am enough. I am enough. I loved it a lot around like building my confidence and like knowing that who I am is perfect and beautiful just as I am, because I feel like society and Western culture and the hustle culture and the grind culture, also the like glamorous Texan yogi queen culture, like I do still have standards, obviously. So all that to say, I just feel, I feel like we can hold ourselves to standards, we can hold ourselves to stuff, but it doesn't have to be some huge, ordeal and commitment. But I think I just got sidetracked because maybe somebody's here back at my house, but that's okay. Cool. This is why it's like critical that I film alone when I'm home alone, because people wouldn't know that I'm filming. But anyway, so the mantras, I am enough. Just knowing that who I am is perfect and there's no need to change that, and it's okay to be who I am and all the flaws, like all the distractions, everything. It's okay. So mantra is another one for me that was really beneficial and really productive, was I am evolving. So when I started through my journey of like, I was examining my relationship with alcohol, and as a woman who worked in the beer business, it was hard to give up alcohol, or I just like always wanted to negotiate my way out of giving it up, even though it hurt me more than it helped me, or it hurt me more than it made me feel good. So all that to say is the mantra during that time was I am evolving. My priorities were evolving, my friends were evolving, my schedule was evolving, like no more happy hours, more like homemade dinners, more early to bed. So I am evolving helped me through the transition in my yoga practice and meditation practice to evolve through my transition from drinking alcohol and being a professional in the beer business and sales and marketing to not drinking alcohol and being okay with that. So yeah, mantras. Maybe you're like, I am loved, I am peaceful, I am strong, I am healthy, I am kind, I am gentle. Whatever it might be, I'd like to invite you, today when we're moving through these poses and practices, perhaps you check in with that mantra. I am evolving, I am enough, I am loved, I am happy. Perhaps you check in with that mantra like when the times are feeling tough, because today, y'all, we're doing, and so these poses, these are going to be tough for me too. These are like some strong poses. We're going to do twists today, side angles, which we have visited some of these side angle poses before, but we'll be doing them again, and then arm strength. So twist, side angle, and arm strength. So those are going to be some strong poses, different vibe from balancing, but still a challenging vibe that's going to invite in maybe a little bit of like self-doubt or like wanting to quit, or definitely one for me is going to be wondering when I'm going to be getting out of this side plank. But on that note, so my point was to say, for the mantra, you can come back to the mantra during those hard times, during those times and moments where you feel like you want to quit or you aren't able to hold it any longer. Just go with me and come back to that mantra, try to see how you're feeling, use that to come back to your body and see how you're doing. But on that note, all right, we will begin to do our Learn Yoga Poses portion. So please get your mat situated. Mat situated. We did our meditation, and I'm all ooey gooey from my nice little meditation party with my yogi friends. So thank you if you were there. I love you all. But so my little meditation party. So I'm feeling really like, chill. So it's funny that we're going to be doing side angle poses. If you want to get warmed up with me, let's just take some warm up. So maybe some cat-cow. It's funny that I did that really nice meditation today, and then we're going to be doing these not so nice poses. But typically that's how the cookie crumbles, and I always invite these things in with a sense of like curiosity and gratitude, and also like, of course it would happen this way. Like, what other way would it be? Like, it wouldn't be the relaxing yoga day that I had, that meditation party. It would be the day that I have to do a bunch of side planks and twist and but yeah, so anyway, all right, we got warmed up, cat-cow. Meet me back in tabletop. So I'm gonna face this way actually today, just so I can see my little list here, and I have my clock running on this side, so it's like mixing it up a little bit. Okay, thread the needle. So we were just in that tabletop doing our warm-up for cat-cow. Meet me back in that tabletop. You know where to be for this comfortable tabletop. Also, y'all, I just wanted to touch in with y'all and just like revisit this, because maybe we don't do it enough. Like, maybe teachers don't say this enough, but so this is from the front angle, and I would have never thought to do this, but basically I don't want your like knees wider than your hips. So like, if you notice, my knees are pretty wide there, right? I want your knees to be pretty like decently stacked under in line. So almost like it's almost as if I was like, well, it's like if my legs and my arms were the same size, you wouldn't see them. But I just want y'all to keep it closer together versus wider apart in that tabletop. It's more supportive. So thread the needle. We'll be in that neutral tabletop. Left hand, you can plant it down on the mat. Sweep your right hand up high to the sky. You can try to look towards that hand. If you notice, my hand all the way to the top of the head, it's almost like I have a line going all the way like a string. That's what we're looking for, right? It's okay if you're not there yet. Thread this needle, come to lie on this shoulder. Lots of crunching going on over here that I'm wondering if this little DJI mic is going to pick it up. We'll see. But this does feel really good. This is a great stretch. This is called Thread the Needle. So the head is always rested on thread the needle. A lot of the times people will be holding their heads like thinking you have to keep it up. No, please rest your head. I'll always say, please rest your head. And then your opposite hand, it can be here to support you, like this. It could be behind. It could be here. It could be there. Whatever feels best for you. I can also press into the mat and kind of pull this right shoulder away and get into this right shoulder just a little bit deeper. This is a lot of twisting, y'all. So yeah, we are in the twist category. This is thread the needle. Let's bring it up, out. Whew. Let's take it to the other side. So let's try the other side on. One side for me, definitely way different. Okay, so this time, or whatever time for you, opposite hand, plant it down. We're gonna look up towards the sky. So I'm trying to press through this planted hand on the mat, pulling up all the way to the top, trying to look towards that hand, all the way up. And then we thread that needle, come to lie on the opposite shoulder. And again, so this is a different angle, but I'm showing you what you can do with your opposite hand when it's down. But then also the knees here. Notice here, let's talk about that. Are they leaning? Am I leaning? No. I'm trying to keep my hips square. Maybe you've noticed that you have to pull one hip back a little bit more than the other, and that's good for you. Find a little bit of that stretch. Find a little bit of that customization to where you need a little bit more opening and space in your body. This is feeling particularly good today for me. Thread the needle. All right, twisted lunge. So we're still in the twist series. So twisted lunge could be, this is a low crescent lunge with twist. So to try that, take your left foot to the top of your mat. Left heel goes under left knee about. So maybe I adjust it a little bit. And then also, we're not like trying to balance on an Olympic balance beam here. We are trying to have space between our hips facing forward. I'm not on a balance beam here. And then pull up through that right hip, back foot and toes are pointed down, just pressing through the mat. So this is a low crescent lunge. This would be a low crescent lunge with a twist. So opposite arm goes up towards the top of the space. Other arm, the same arm as the bent leg at the front, goes to the back of the space. So I'm opening this way. Other ways we can do that to try to like warm into this. We can plant one hand on the knee, pull open on the left with this left arm. That's what the left arm for me. So this is a nice supportive way. This is another layer. You can take binds. So that's a low lunge with a twist. Or sorry, crescent lunge with a twist. This would be, we've done one of these in our practices before. I'm still on the left side, and then we'll transition to the right. But this is the left leg at the front, right palm is down. I'm in a runner's lunge. My hips are square, right hip back, left hip forward. And then my left hand comes up high to the sky, runner's lunge with a twist. So that's nice. We also have, still going, y'all. We have here is high lunge. Woo! I'm still on my left leg. Don't worry, we're about to move to the other side. High lunge with those twist. Breathing here. All right. Whew. So, thread the needle, some twisted lunge series. Let's go into a revolved triangle. So coming back to your mat, maybe you want to take it to the other leg, right? So to take it to the other leg, It feels like I'm always going to be facing you the wrong way. But basically, it's revolve triangle. So for revolve triangle, you remember we've done triangle in the standing strength poses. So this is a twist. This is in the twist series, but this is a revolve triangle. So for triangle, you have your feet back in more of that warrior 2 type position, but with a warrior 1 angle. So the back foot is parallel. It's not, it's not parallel. The back foot is not parallel. This would be parallel. This is 45-degree angle. So that's what we're looking for. This would be for the triangle. So triangle pose is here, and then we lean forward, we drop this hand to the inside, and then lift this opposite hand up high to the sky. So this is our triangle pose, right? All right, so we've been there before. Now, here's revolve triangle, which is gonna come as one of our twist poses this week. So revolve triangle is the same thing. We're gonna twist it forward, and we're gonna take it down the opposite direction. So instead of taking it down and opening the same side with our hips open to the same side, revolve triangle is an invitation to take it, so this way, it's a twist with a balance pose and actually a standing strength pose. So, like I said, that's an invitation. Revolve triangle is not a requirement. That is a more advanced pose. As you can see, it was a little bit challenging for me to perform. So I just wanted to show it to you. It's not a requirement. Also, some things that could be considered twists would be plank, thread the needles. So if you were in a high plank right here, and then we open, we close, that would be a twist and arm strength, but we're not there yet. Okay, so anyway, got it. So that was plank, thread. So we went over thread the needle, we went over different sets of twisted lunges. We did the revolve triangle, which is challenging. Oh, and then there's yogi squat twist. So I know we've had a lot of fun with yogi squats so far. So let's come back to your yogi squat and let's try the yogi squat twist out. So for the twist, we're gonna come down to our yogi squat. I like these. These are honestly, like if you did like the yogi twist, if you did like the yogi squat previously, then maybe you'd like this, but the yogi twist is more of like a stretchy move. It's more of a yogi squat twist. Like I'm using this opposite arm to open this one, pressing it away. So that's the yogi squat twist. This is the regular yogi squat. This would be the twist where I'm pressing one arm in and pressing it away. That feels good. Moving into side angle. A lot of these poses we also did in our standing strength series. So for side angle, we are going to go into the triangle pose. So 45-degree angle. I'm facing now again back of the space. So 45-degree angle with the back foot. Front foot is straight in front. We're getting ready to go into that triangle. So I want you to find those hips square under the shoulders. Hips are square underneath the shoulders. Right toes are pointed forward. We're going into the triangle pose, just the regular one. So now we're on the other side. If you have blocks or a prop, you can use them here. You can press into that for support. So this is our triangle pose. This is in our side angle poses. I think it was also in our standing strength, but it definitely uses a lot of core activation. So that's why I think previously in my videos when I'm cueing you and we're in these side angle poses, I'm like, use your obliques, which your obliques are these muscles on the side of the abdomen, the side of the abs. I'm like, use those obliques to pick yourself up out of your triangle, because I need you to not just use the legs, not just bend through the arms and flail yourself up there. I want you to use the core to lift the whole torso back up. So triangle is a fun pose for side angles, standing strength. You just saw we could do it with a twist. So, all right, extended side angle. Woo, moving on. Extended side angle. So let's go into warrior 2. This time for warrior two, back foot is parallel with the back of the mat. Front foot is pointing open. Hips are open to the side of your mat. Arms here, shoulder blades roll down and back. We know the warrior two. Extended side angle. Take your front forearm, gently just rest it here. I'm not leaning on it. You can see that if I moved this arm, I would still be in the same position because I'm holding myself with my core. I'm not leaning in like this. Like that was not using my core. Wow. Okay, so this is not using my core, and this is just me being here supported, which that's great. If we're here right now in our practice and our journey, that's totally fine. Be supported and try to be open here and be optimistic that one day you're going to be able to like hold a ball here and keep the whole core engaged and not have to worry. Extended side angle. Feels good. So you can also go here, place a block. You can be supported. You can be supported. You can place this arm behind your back for a bit of shoulder opening if you have rounded shoulders. So that's a bind. So that's extended side angle. Arm strength. These are going to be poses that we have already been over, that you know, but we're now categorizing them. So whenever it's your turn to make a yoga flow, whenever it's your turn to figure out what poses you want to put in your final class to show, your friends, family, classmates, you're going to be able to go through these categories and be like, okay, I want to put in like a couple twists, and I want to put in a couple arm strength. And so these are going to be those categories for you to like discern and decide between which poses you want to use for your own personal like preference beginner yoga flow, which is what we're going to be doing in a couple weeks. So let's finish up here with the poses. Last category today is going to be arm strength. So we've got plank. We know her, we love her. Plank. So notice that I'm not here. I'm not here. Hips. See the hips in line with the shoulders. Balls of the feet rooted. Toes spread wide. Belly pulls up. See, I can be relaxed. That's my belly relaxed, which like isn't the best look, Mom, sorry. But then this is belly engaged. This is what we want. This is high plank. That's why it's so active. Arm strength, high plank. To go into side plank, come to your right forearm. You can come to your right forearm, walk those feet out. Let's go to side plank right here. So this is an accessible side plank on the forearm. Let's place that hand down, drop that knee. We're gonna press up. This is also side plank. So if we're not all the way there yet, plant that right hand. Right knee is under my right hip. Left hip is over right knee. Right foot in line with left knee. This is supported, modified side plank. So right here, you're getting the same benefits. Like I can feel my core, I can feel my obliques. Like I'm not engaging it in the same way, but I am definitely using it. I am definitely stretching it in a different way. I'm still using the lats and everything in my shoulder for this arm strength pose of side plank. And then my core is still engaged. I'm opening to the side. This is a beautiful modified side plank. So why don't you try that on? Modified here. Modified, we will take that knee underneath. So this time I'm now doing it on the opposite side. So my left knee is underneath my left hip. And then one side is definitely gonna feel different than the other. Oof. So this is modified side plank. So left hip over left knee. My left ankle is in line with my left knee. Everything is pretty square here. My shoulder blades roll down and back. Press the mat away here. My palm is all the way underneath my shoulder. Fingertips spread wide. Modified side plank. Shoulder blades roll down and back. Gaze towards the hand. Tuck the chin. That's a reminder I needed. So this is modified side plank. To go into the full expression, or knowing what we're working towards is we're working towards having both sides of the feet stacked like this on top of each other. Hips are high. Woohoo! I've actually never talked this much and done side plank at the same time. We may be balanced. Y'all, I did a really good Pilates class yesterday with my girl Amber. Sis is feeling it, okay? So this is side plank. Side plank, woo! And then you can always take it modified even in different ways. You can come all the way down. Forearm. Forearm, and then come up on your side. So see, I have that space between my side. This is also a modified side plank. This is a lot actually in the lats. This is a beautiful exercise. You can do some dips, but this is a modified side plank as well. You go here. You can go, let's see. You can go here if we're on a low side plank. Ooh. Let me try this side. Y'all, I invite you to try all the variations of side plank so you can see what I'm going through. I consider myself a decently fit and active person, but sometimes these poses, woo, especially outside in Texas. Okay, so let's see this side. Okay, so here, this side is definitely like better for me, right? I don't know. So try all those variations of side plank and let me know your thoughts. All right, moving on. Arm strength, next pose. You know this, you love this. She is upward facing dog. Knees are elevated, legs are elevated, arms are rolled down and back, palms pressed into the mat, tops of the feet rooted. You can see my legs are lifted here. Look at the difference between my core engaged. Here's not my core engaged. There's my core engaged. Wow, upward facing dog. Here she is. Arm strength. We also have crow, which based on my capabilities today, I'm not sure that we're gonna have that in a full demo right this second. Crow is an arm strength and balance and strength pose. You would take it's like this, and then palms are hands wide, triceps are head, and then you try to pick the feet up. So that's crow. She's spicy. Feel free to try her on your own. I'm not gonna stop you, but again, you can see I use my yoga practice. This is what I use it for, to get to know myself better, to feel better about myself, to understand my body, to have confidence in my body, to build rapport and confidence with myself. I don't do yoga to like always like push myself to like all the maxes, but I have and I will, but I use like all sorts of things for that. So yoga is a great place to start to explore your boundaries, not boundaries, explore your limitations or self like imposed limitations, right? So like maybe yoga is a great place for you. Like it was the place where I learned how to push myself comfortably, how to do, you know, fire toes and make it through. Like this is so easy for me now. And crow would be also if I've done crow as much as I've done fire toes. So on that note, why don't we do a little shavasana? I know that we've been enjoying the adult like final resting pose, nap time. So let's go ahead and recline down on the mat. If you can find a comfortable way to recline, either on your mat, I mean ideally on your mat because we just practiced yoga, but could also be just in a supported way in a chair for you where you feel comfortable. If you're in a public space, maybe it is in a more seated position where you can feel stable, secure, and comfortable. But here, I'm in my yard. We just did our yoga practice. I did quite a bit of meditation today with my yogi friends, so I'm feeling pretty good and ready to go into a Shavasana, final resting pose. So meet me there, whatever that looks like for you. So for me today, definitely feeling arms really wide today for me. More of like in a snow angel versus a actual down by the sides. So I'm feeling really expansive in my heart space and chest. So just breathe here. My legs are also wider than my mat, like my heels are on the earth, my arms are wide, so it's definitely more of a snow angel / star pose. So meet me in what feels best for your body to be supported here, and let's breathe for a few moments. Let's take 3 steady inhales and exhales together here through the nose and then out through the mouth. Once you find your comfortable position, you can even put a blanket over you or an eye mask if you're at home, or a little towel or washcloth, blanket for warmth. Begin to just relax into the space, into your body. Trying to notice anywhere that you can soften if you have not already softened all the way. Soften the jaw if your jaw was clenched, or separate the molars in the mouth. Soften the tongue from the top of the palate. Breathe here, just letting our practice fully integrate, letting everything soften, letting the world continue on around you. The world is continuing on around me right now, but here I am, slowed down, just being in this very moment, knowing that it's fleeting and it's going to be over way faster than one would ever expect in our precious life. Beginning to bring your awareness back to the body, wiggling the toes, the fingertips, rolling out the wrists, the ankles, reaching the arms overhead, big cat stretch. Maybe today we windshield wiper side to side. Whew. Oh. Yeah, I had a tough Pilates class yesterday. My little meditation and yogi love party today, so I'm feeling all sorts of mush. But anyway, so that's why I need a little extra rock and roll, extra love, so massage. Windshield wiper. Coming back to center. Let's come on up to the top of the space. Whew. It's turning out to be a beautiful sunset here. I can't wait to share more with you on my meditation today with my friends and Pema. More to come on that, but this was just our yoga practice. So hopefully you enjoyed those yoga poses. Hopefully you enjoyed learning about utilizing mantras during your yoga practice or during your day. maybe those little affirmations you could leave on a post-it note for yourself, whatever you, just to cheer you on. I mean, it's like building you up. Like, there's no problem. I'm like, I have no shame or nothing about that, you know? So if it helps to say it to yourself, or put it on a post-it note and put it on your mirror, or write it on your phone, or, you know, set a reminder in your phone that when you wake up in the morning, like, I am enough. That's what it says on my alarm. Like, I wake up and I am enough, or I wake up and I am happy. That's the first thing that I think of and see is that mantra. But so try it out. Let's see how it feels. Let's see those twist poses, the side angles, the arm strength. Let me know what you think about using the mantras, and also about our meditation, how it's going. But thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time.